I used to teach across the hall from a good friend of mine and math teacher, and we'd stand out in the hall often and talk about guns. It's just something we love to talk about as friends. And I remember asking him one day, what do you think the most accurate handgun ever made is? And his response was a Swiss Sig P210. At the time, I had never heard of a Swiss Sig P210. It's fairly new to guns. This is a long time ago. The internet was around, but there really, and YouTube was as well, but there really wasn't a lot of gun YouTubers. There definitely wasn't any kind of real online gun sales at the time. So really the research I could do on it was mostly in the form of forums, or occasionally I would see them pop up online for sale. But they would, at the time, run from about $1,500 to $2,500, which was a lot of money for a gun. Still is a lot of money for a gun. They've gone way up since then. But as I continued to research this gun, I grew to quickly agree with what it was he was saying with this gun. I often would ask other people, and 9 times out of 10, people that knew what they were talking about would come back and say, well, the Swiss Sig P210 is the most accurate gun ever made. First of all, the Swiss, they're notoriously, known for making awesome, some of the best watches ever made, some of the best chocolate ever made, and of course some of the best guns ever made. Some of the most accurate and precise guns out there are Swiss guns. And through this research, what I also realized was it's this full internal rail. It's almost like a train on a track with this upper slide, but it's an internal track. Incredibly smooth and incredibly brilliant design. Now the CZ75 also follows this general design of a full internal rail. However, the P210 was made before the CZ75. At the 2016 NRA convention in Louisville, Kentucky, it was the first time I went to a convention to interview gun manufacturers. Wanted to go to the SHOT Show that year, but at the time I was such a small YouTube channel that they wouldn't let me have a media pass. So I drove off to Louisville, Kentucky to do my interviews. And one of the first people I interviewed was Sig Sauer, and that was when they announced that they were coming out with the P210. Now the gun he broke out was the Target model. Right away, I didn't like the grip. I get why the grip is made the way it is, but I wasn't interested in this gun as a target pistol. I was interested in carrying this gun. 2 years ago, when the standard P210 model came out, finally a P210 I can get a hold of, something I can actually reach out and get a hold of. I came pretty close to buying one until 2020 SHOT Show, when Sig Sauer announced the carry model. Now, they did talk about the carry model at the 2016 NRA interview, but there it was, right in front of me. Very interested in that pistol. Now, of course, that pistol didn't come out last year. When I interviewed Sig Sauer on a virtual interview at this most recent 2021 SHOT Show, I asked them about it. And I got the answer that I expected. Because of the sheer volume of new gun owners and the demand for guns, their focus turned more towards producing the guns that people really wanted, the mainstream concealed carry guns out there. And they did a great job of it, by the way. So they had to kind of turn their attention from some of these newer items to pumping out the things that they knew that the public wanted already. But not just because the carry model isn't out. I kind of kept thinking, well, I really like the wooden grip, I really like the standard model, and I finally broke down and got one. Finally, I have the gun that I've been dreaming of. Now, I will say there's obviously some differences in the original. Mostly is the safety. It's a significantly better safety than the original model had. I really like the safety. It encourages me more to be willing to carry this gun cocked and locked, which is a practice I typically don't like to do. This one, I probably will though. My goodness, this gun is awesome. Guns like this are why I love guns. This gun has the smoothest slide on the planet. It literally feels like it might be on wheels inside an internal rail. By far the smoothest slide I've ever felt. If I'd released the slide and tipped it slightly forward, it would just fall right out. Just so smooth. One of the best single action triggers I've ever felt in my life as well. However, shooting it, my goodness, what a pleasure to shoot this gun. Incredibly accurate, ridiculously smooth to shoot. It again is the reason why I love guns. Searching for accurate and precise guns leads you to this type of a gun. Incredible P210. Now, when I was buying this at the gun store, somebody suggested that they wouldn't carry this gun. My response, I'm going to carry the heck out of this gun. I will be carrying this gun a lot. What a pleasure to carry a gun like this. And if by chance I need to use a gun, I know that I am carrying one of the most accurate guns ever made. And so far, it's 100% reliable as well. But with that smooth slide, I couldn't imagine this gun ever malfunctioning. What a masterpiece Sig Sauer has created. Yes, it's a US version, but to be quite honest, recently I'm finding that US technology and gun manufacturing has improved so much that some of the best guns in the world right now are coming out of the USA. It's just my thoughts on it. Now, what I also say about this gun is, again, I don't know if many people would carry it, but I would absolutely carry it. This is a gun that I will be carrying for a long time. I'm going to wear this gun down. It's going to be beat up in about 20 years. This is not one of those guns they sit on the shelf and admire and baby. This gun is going to be a workhorse on the concealed carry for me. So, again, can't believe I finally got a hold of one. I know a lot of you probably out there have one, but just for whatever reason, mostly kind of waiting to see what comes next, and it's just unaffordable. Finally got a hold of one. What a pleasure. Be carrying the heck out of this gun. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Put it in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. If you feel called to support this channel through Patreon, that link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. Never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.